Hey guys, it's the Faceless Beanie, and in this video I'll be showing you some ideas for abilities to infuse into Ember from the Helminth. I'll show you the builds as well, so let's get right into it. A quick disclaimer that the pet I use for all gameplay footage is the Panzerwolperphiler, and my only weapon is the Kronen Prime. I'm also using Ember Prime instead of Ember. First up, it's Wisp's Breach Surge. Putting this in place of Fireball provides greater crowd control for Ember. Breach Surge's main advantage is its initial blinding effect on enemies and the radiation status procs which confuse enemies and make them attack each other. A bonus is blinded enemies having a chance to release surge sparks to nearby enemies, dealing headshots, which come with a damage multiplier. Killing blinded enemies guarantees the release of these surge sparks. So the build focuses on strength and efficiency. The strength is mainly to increase the damage multiplier of the surge sparks as well as boost Inferno. With this build, you basically just cast abilities the entire game. Start with Immolation, max out the bar, then cast Breach Surge, Inferno and Fire Blast in that order. Breach Surge will benefit from the damage dealt by Inferno, and then Fire Blast of course will strip enemy armor. Exothermic will provide you with more than enough energy and you'll be able to sustain yourself for long periods in the steel path without having to use your weapons. You'll see less than 40 of my 3800 kills here were with my melee. The rest were purely abilities. Moving on to the next one, Gara's Spectorage, replacing Fireball. Spectorage on its own is fantastic for crowd control and survival. You can cast it in a tight area and watch enemies shoot their own reflections. Pairing this with the Spectrosiphon Augment mod basically gives you way more energy than you'll ever need, and this combination makes for a really fun time no matter where you're playing. The build is fairly balanced with the exception of strength. You won't really need it since you'll be relying on the melee weapon of your choice to get the kills here. You'll be casting Fire Blast a lot, so you'll need decent efficiency, and of course the duration and range is purely to benefit Spectorage. So you get into a tight area where enemies are crowding up, you cast Spectorage, then when you feel like it you cast Fire Blast to strip enemy armor completely, and you go in for a few kills. You won't need flow with this build because there'll always be way more energy orbs than you know what to do with. Moving on to the third one, and it's Nezha's Firewalker, also replacing Fireball. This isn't as exciting as the previous two, but you'll still be benefiting more from it than Fireball. Firewalker provides you with additional movement speed and also synergizes perfectly with Ember's passive. You leave a trail of fire wherever you go, inflicting heat status procs and damage on enemies, buffing your strength in the process. Firewalker ensures you don't have to mod for strength at all, so a regular build focusing on efficient casting with sufficient range will do. Hunter Adrenaline or Exothermic for energy. No changes to the gameplay here, just cast Firewalker and it's Ember as usual. If you're looking for a little bit of fun, the Augment mod Pyroclastic Flow allows Firewalker to build up damage and then you release it with a kick that forms a trail of fire that will do significant damage to all enemies walking across it or hit directly by it. Not realistic, but pretty fun. Finally, Mirage's Eclipse, replacing Fireball as well. Eclipse can either give you a damage buff for your weapons or damage reduction for Ember herself. This stacks with a damage reduction from Immolation, so if you thought you could tank damage before, you can do that better with this. It's difficult to get a consistent surrounding that's bright enough for the damage buff, so it's not reliable unless you're in open worlds or on Earth or Mars. The build again is pretty straightforward. You want a slight duration buff to keep Eclipse active. Similar to Firewalker, the gameplay doesn't change for Ember, but her survivability is greatly boosted by Eclipse. And if you get into open areas with bright lights, you can reap the benefits of the damage buff as well. Of course, these builds are not fully maxed out. If you want to, you can always equip Umbral Forma and equip Umbral mods to your liking, but it is unnecessary. And that's about it. Hope this helped you out. This is the Faceless Beanie, signing out.